Hey y'all, and welcome to my December TBR reading wrap up. Today is December 3rd and I have finished my first book of the month, so I'm here to share it with you. I have finished Monk and Robot. Technically, this is like two, I think, novellas combined in one. It is a psalm for the wild-built and a prayer for the crown-shy. Those are the two books just included in this one volume by Becky Chambers, and I just finished it. So my thoughts are a bit of a jumble and a little all over the place, but I'm going to try to be concise and just tell you first what these stories are about. So we start off in, I think it's a moon, on the moon of Panga. And hundreds of years ago, robots laid down their tools and decided to go off into the wilderness and no longer be a tool of the humans. They were no longer going to work in factories, and they went off to live in the wilderness and are basically kind of urban legends or folklore at this point. Enter T-Monk Dex, who is very much in a solo role of being a T-Monk. They travel from town to town, place to place, offering their services. And while on one of these adventures, they meet Mosscap, who is a robot. And this is the robot kind of representative of the larger robot community that's been living in the wild. And Mosscap is there to ask what humans need from them and how they can help. They want to know how humans have been getting on in their absence and if there's any resources that they're lacking in the absence of the robots. This puts Dex in a very awkward position because Dex never experienced robots when they were part of society. It's been hundreds of years since they left the human societies, and the humans had to work around the robots no longer being part of their day-to-day life or part of their resources, I guess I would say. So these two team up. Mosscap is very interested in humans, very interested in their society, their items. Big fan of possessions is our sweet Mosscap, and these two sort of take on their adventures. Dex stops performing the tea ceremonies and really is just the conduit for Mosscap to meet with other societies, communities, and ask people what they need. Mosscap learns about their cultures, how they trade for goods and services, and is just a very earnest, open, curious, heartening, happy, kind character. Just really, really rewarding character to read. I laughed out loud many times throughout this. I absolutely love the friendship dynamics built between Dex and Mosscap, and I think Mosscap's earnest need to help and natural curiosity allows Dex to be more introspective and challenge their own ideas of self. I think it provides a very honest look at relationships, again, especially friendship and family relationships, and where we see ourselves in the greater scheme of things. And overall, I mean, I honestly, having just finished it and having the feelings I have right now, I would give this 5 stars, 4.75, 5 stars, somewhere in there. This is really quite perfect for me. I honestly wish there were more. I actually do know what I'm going to pick up next. I'm planning to start Good Spirits tonight. This is definitely a very Christmassy read. It is on my Christmas TBR. So I am really looking forward to this. We have the Spirit of Christmas Past, I believe, is our male main character. And I think our female main character is kind of like a grouchy, maybe not totally Scrooge, but kind of a grouchy, grumpy black cat female. I don't know. I kind of hope. I really like a black cat female and a golden retriever guy. So I hope that's what this is, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've only heard good things about it. I have struggled with BK Boris in the past, so please pray for me, but I'm really looking forward to my first Christmassy book of the year. See you for my next one. Hey y'all, and happy Friday. Sorry it's a little bit dark again, but it is after work, and I have finished Good Spirits by BK Borison. I am so thrilled to tell you that I loved this. I gave this, I think, 4.75 stars, and even more than just being so happy that I loved this book, and I ate it up, and it made me cry. Does everything make me cry lately? I don't know. I loved it, and I'm so happy to have found a BK Borison book that actually worked for me. So now I kind of feel like, because the Love Light Farm series didn't work for me, I'm going to leave that alone. But I think I want to read First Time Caller now before Back to You. I think that's what it's called. And now Back to You. I don't know. I want to read those. Also, this is showing as book 1 in this series. Are there going to be more? I loved them. I loved Harriet. I loved Nolan is a treat of a male main character. Very grouchy, very uninterested in Harriet in the beginning, but like also maybe a little bit interested from the beginning, and he's fighting those feelings. This is definitely not what I expected it to be. However, I enjoyed it so thoroughly. It put me in the most Christmassy, happy, shiny Christmas spirit, and I'm very grateful to it for that. I know I'm gushing, but I really enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would, and there is something so deeply fulfilling about that, and it just made me really happy. So I would highly recommend. I know by the time you see this, Christmas will be over, but who cares? You should just read it anyway. Also, can we have a moment for the nails? Like, I did 2 Union Jacks because we're going to England in like 4 days. We're leaving in like 4 days. Oh my God. I'm getting really excited to go. I'm going to be so honest with you. I started this last night because I did not want this to end. And then while I was trying to procrastinate that, I did also pick up the Melancholy of Untold History. I bought this a couple months ago, so it hasn't been hauled or anything. It won't be in a haul because I'm reading it now, but I did pick it up at the airport. It called to me and I'm not 100% sure about it yet. It's a little meandering and I don't know. We'll see. It is yet to be seen, but yeah, I'm planning to finish it. I don't want to DNF it yet, so that will be the next one. Also, well, it might be the next one because I'm thinking I might just sit down and read this tonight. This is Christmas with LM Montgomery. It is one for my winter TBR, and I think I could sit and read it in one sitting. There are 3 stories. It is absolutely microscopically tiny, and I want to keep on those like really good Christmas vibes. So I might do that, read this in between. I don't really know what's next after that. I did get that second Benjamin Stevenson book in the Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, so maybe that. I have We Solve Murders. I have so many Christmas books. Again, it's a mystery and we will find out together. So I'll leave it there for now. See you in the next one. Hey y'all, I found a little bit of evening light and I really want to do this update because I think this is the last one I'm going to do before we go to England. We are leaving tomorrow night. This time tomorrow, we will be like at the airport, and I don't know why. Maybe it is the very short turnaround time from booking to leaving. I am so stressed out about this trip, but like that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. I'm going to show you the books I finished recently. And so the first up, I think I mentioned this in my last update, is The Melancholy of Untold History. I was going to soft DNF this, and then I think I kind of realized that I want to just fully DNF it. This is not for me. I enjoy mythology retellings. I enjoy whimsical tales. I enjoy a meander, honestly. And this had all of those elements, but something in it just did not work for me. So deeply did not work for me. And I couldn't get past it. I think it took me 3 or 4 days to get less than halfway through it. I didn't want to pick it up. And then I thought maybe this is just the wrong time. Like the elements are all there. This is something that normally I would really like. Maybe it's just bad timing. But honestly, the more I thought about it, this is just not going to be it for me. So I'm going to let this one go, unfortunately. I did finish Christmas with LM Montgomery. And let me tell you, this is like the 3 sweetest little Christmas tales, a little predictable, not cheesy, but very, very warm-hearted, very sweet and wholesome tales. I really, really enjoyed this. I kind of just wanted more, and this is so teeny tiny, but it was so good. And then over the weekend, I finished the Dallergut Dream department store. Again, very whimsical, very meandering, very slice of life. Nothing is really happening. I wouldn't say there's a lot of plot. It's just kind of following one person's experience through this department store that sells dreams. I loved it though. Like this was perfect for me. A second one recently came out or was recently released. I don't know if it's a new release or if it's just the translated version that is a new release, but I will definitely be picking it up and continuing on with this series. I also recently started this. I had started the first couple of chapters at the end of the first book. Like the first chapter, I think, is in the end of that book. And then I started kind of perusing this, but I never went deeply into it. I had other stuff that just kept coming up. So I kind of lightly started this. So I went back last night and read the first 3 chapters, I think. And I want to say almost 100 pages in, somewhere close in there, and I am enjoying it. It's a lot slimmer than the first one, and the author herself admits it's a little bit darker than the first one, and it is so far a little bit less lighthearted, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Here is Longanisa. So far, I haven't gotten more of her that I wanted, but it's still early days, so we will see how it goes. I hope to finish this tonight. I'm going to see if my library has the audio and try to do the audio while I pack so that I can keep consuming it and hopefully keep my brain busy and not stressy at the same time. Since we are leaving tomorrow night, I have to figure out kind of what is going to be next up in my reading based on what I have access to audio-wise or Kindle-wise. I did get approved for wolf form today. I got the email from NetGalley. This is like my third or fourth Kingfisher approval this year. Like, that baffles me. So I might like just throw everything out the window and jump into that. But I am thinking these 3 books are kind of going to be the next up that I jump into in some order. I'm not sure yet. I have Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I would like to embrace my Christmassy books while it's still Christmassy, and I think we have about 17 days until Christmas. I am not opposed to finishing them over the Christmas weekend. But yeah, I would like to get to this for sure. I would also like to get to Kiss Me at Christmas for the same reason. And this is also set in England. I don't want to bring a physical copy with me, but I don't know if I want to buy audio or buy a Kindle version of it either if I already have it physically. So I might see if the library maybe has it. I don't think they do. I think I've checked. So I might just lie and physically take this one, but I would really like to read this one in England. I think that would be fun. And then I have Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, which is book 2 in the Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. Is that what it's called? Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone? It's so long. Again, by Benjamin Stevenson. He also has a Christmas book out right now. It's only hardcover in the US. So while we're in the UK, I might buy the paperback version to go with my little collection. But this I know the library has. Yeah, this I know the library has audio of right now. I did go ahead and borrow it because it was available to borrow now. So this might be my plain book. That's the only plan I have for now. I'm a little rambly because I am nervous, but I'm going to look for Hello Hello and Homicide on my Libby app to see if any of the libraries I have cards to have a copy of it and go pack my bags. Ooh, why am I so nervous about this trip? I don't know. It's going to be so much fun, but I have a lot of, not nervous, I have a lot of anticipation, I guess. So I will try to check in while I'm over there and let you know as I finish things and then what format I have been finishing them in, but we're going to be gone for 6 days. So I'm going to be reading. And I'll let you know what I end up finishing while I'm there. Hi, it has been a whirlwind couple of weeks. I have not updated in a very long time. We have been to England. We have come back from England. We've been home for 3 days and I have done 0 updates. I read a little bit. I didn't finish anything on the trip. I started Kiss Me at Christmas. I think I got 5 chapters in. I did the audio because we were traveling. I didn't want to bring the book with me. Anyway, it's just nothing was clicking for me until the flight home, and I was trying to keep myself awake because I didn't want to be jet lagged when we got back. So anyway, a lot of rambling, but just to say, I feel very out of practice. I feel very kind of lost in the updates, and I haven't done a lot of reading. My reading definitely took a little bit of a downturn this month. Haven't read a lot, haven't finished a lot, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just sort of what ended up happening. And if it came down to finishing books or having the experiences that I've had so far this month, I would pick the experiences 1,000 times. So with all of that said, a little rambly, a little hectic, I want to show you what I have finished and kind of what's up in the queue. So first up, I did end up finishing this before we left. Actually, I just didn't have time to do an update. I really liked this. This is definitely picking up and moving in the direction that I wanted it to. So I'm definitely excited to continue the series. I really enjoyed this. Still need more Longanisa. We got to like some sassy Longanisa, which I really enjoyed. She was kind of the catalyst for a couple of things and I liked that. So very good. Would recommend. Definitely going to continue the series. I think actually the next book is set at Christmas time. So I might see if I can squeeze that in this season. It might be 2026, but still when we have like the Christmassy vibes, maybe, we shall see. But definitely recommend the series. I enjoyed it so much. And the book I did finish on the plane was Holiday Ever After. I did the audio for this as well because I did not bring any physical books with me. The audio for this actually just really worked and I enjoyed the story. We have Clara who works for a large toy company. It started as like a small family business and then grew, it took off. They had a very popular doll that was actually named after Clara, and that sort of took them from small family business to like big corporation. And then we have Jack, who's from a small town, and he created a doll that Clara's family's company ripped off and mass produced. So she is tasked with handling the PR nightmare that is this information getting out into the public. So she works with the community. It's very sweet. It was very good. I was a little hesitant because I did not like Hannah Grace books that I had tried. And I'm so pleased that this one worked for me. Now, I'm currently reading Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. I'm loving this. This is actually so funny. I'm laughing out loud. It's so funny. I am very nearly done with it, so I will finish it today. Love it. Want to get to the Christmas one. I can't find it here, like to buy in paperback. So I did find it from my library on Libby. So I'm going to listen to that, which should be good because they're Australian. So I want to get like the accents. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, this is just, again, like a whodunit style murder mystery. This time they're on a train. So very like Agatha Christie coded, but not, because he almost knows that this is like a pale imitation of other mysteries. I don't know. It's just very tongue in cheek. It's very funny, making fun of itself a little bit or not taking itself too seriously. And I really enjoy like the fun murder mystery. I really like something like this that is a bit more lighthearted, low stakes. Okay, and next I'm going to be reading The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. This is our in-person book club book and we are meeting this coming Sunday. Today's Thursday. And I traditionally like to read the book as close to meeting as possible so I don't lose anything. I don't want to pick up something else in between. So that will be the next one. It's very small. I think it's exactly 300 pages. It's not a big one. And I'm just really excited to meet with everybody mostly and, you know, be cozy, chat with the girls, see everybody before Christmas. It's just going to be really sweet and fun. So I'm looking forward to this book to get me there. All right, so for now, I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't know why this feels like the final update. We still have almost 2 weeks to go, but I will leave it there for now. Hey y'all, so I just finished Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. This is book 2 in, I believe it's called the Ernest Cunningham series. So we're back with Ernie. He is this time at a writer's convention that is set on a train. And the train is traversing, I think, like the length of Australia, moving from north to south, Darwin to Adelaide, I believe is correct. And it was a really good time. It was a very good time. Ernest is coming off the events of book 1. He has written a book about that, which is like the book we read. And he is now trying his first foray into fiction, but he's a little stuck. He is not finding the writing experience so easy without the inspiration of real life events. So a lot of stuff happens. I thought this was honestly like laugh out loud funny. There were so many moments where I was cracking up and I just really enjoy these. It is important to note the author is a comedian and I think there's something so perfect about that. He writes very nicely. Like I said, a lot of laugh out loud moments for me. I enjoyed it so much. Hey y'all, here for another update. It is very dark outside, so I just feel like this is the best lighting I can get right now. But today was book club day. We read The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, and this was a physical TBR book for me. And I'm so glad that I got to read this with my book club and that we got to discuss it because I really enjoyed this book. It was very fun. It wasn't super Christmassy, but it was very unexpected in that I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. We have rival authors here. They're both sort of in the mystery thriller genre, but she is like Queen of Cozy and he is what she calls like the leather jacket writers. So he writes more of like the male centric kind of thriller. And they are both called mysteriously to this estate in Scotland, and it is the home of Maggie's favorite author. So they're there, her family kind of shows up as well, the author's family, and then the writer, Eleanor, disappears. She has been telling her friends and family for a while that she feels someone is trying to kill her, and no one will believe her, no one listens to her, and no one heeds her warning. So she disappears, and then Maggie and Ethan are on the case trying to figure out what happened to her. Another person gets poisoned, someone is coming after Maggie, someone is trying to kill Maggie now. It was just really fun. I did not expect the romance aspect of it either. I don't know why. I thought this was going to be kind of a cozy mystery, but not even as cozy as it was. It was very low stakes, a lot of fun. I found myself, we all sort of figured out who the villain was kind of early in, or at least had a strong suspicion, and that suspicion turned out to be correct. But it didn't even matter. It was just such a fun time. It was such a good journey. We all said the vibes were immaculate. So this was a winner. I gave it 4.25 or 4.5. I can't remember. I just reviewed it on Fable earlier today, and I cannot remember what I gave it, but it was really good. I would highly recommend. I am still trying to finish the holiday honeymoon switch. I'm not super far into it, and it's just not grabbing me. I don't really like either of the female main characters, and I would say about 6 chapters in, I was really considering DNFing. I was right around the 100-page mark, but a few chapters past that, I did start to kind of feel pulled in, at least by Holly's side of the equation. I don't know. I don't know if this wasn't going to be for me, but I am going to try and finish it. Also on the docket is Krampus. This was kind of an optional one. It didn't get picked for our book club book, so a few of us who really knew we were going to read it anyway decided we would just read it, and then the few of us would come together and discuss it. So I'm really looking forward to this one as well. I don't know if I told you this, but I did start Kiss Me at Christmas when we were in England, but it was not clicking for me, and I don't think it was the book's fault at all. I had a hard time reading absolutely anything while we were there, so I am really hoping to dive back into this one as well. I know that's kind of a really full 3 books to finish in 5 days, but I have already started this one. I am pretty well into the holiday honeymoon switch, so I don't know, I'm hopeful. Wish me luck. Hey y'all, welcome to another update for December. I've not filmed one of these in a very long time, and it is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. And I have a little bit of a lull in the activities before we need to be at our next spot, so I thought I would quickly show you what I finished lately, what I'm currently reading, and what is next. Like I said, today is Christmas Day. I have 2.5 more Christmas books that I was planning to or wanted to read, and I think I will still be able to read those over the weekend. So I'm going to try and fit them all into this season, and then move into my more wintry specific books from my winter TBR because I do think that I can finish that in full, and I would really like to. So first up, this update, let me just tell you also, is going to be very hit or miss. This has been a little bit of a rough week or so. I had to DNF the holiday honeymoon switch. I could not have cared less about any single person in this book. I didn't like either of the female main characters. Neither of the male main characters spoke to me either. I just I just deeply did not care where this was going, what was going to end up happening, and it sounded so good to me to begin with, but this just was not it. So I got a little over halfway through, and I just had to step away. Now, a win was Kiss Me at Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. It started out a little rough for me. I was not sure if I was going to finish it because I just felt like it was slow and I didn't really care about this lady's situation, but it quickly gripped me, pulled me in, and I did really enjoy it. This is about what I think would be the equivalent of a school guidance counselor in America. I'm not sure how a pastoral team works in British schools, but in my mind, she is a guidance counselor. Anyway, it is about her and these 5 students that sort of have a bad reputation, but not because they're necessarily bad kids. They're kind of more absent and just don't care so much about school attendance and things like that, but they are smart, they're gifted kids in their own way. So in an attempt to keep them from getting into further trouble in school, she tracks them down one day as they are trespassing in this old theater, this derelict theater. They get caught while she's there, and so she tells the police, it was me, I take full responsibility, this is my fault. The owner ends up saying, I won't press charges, but you have to clean up the theater for me because I want to sell it. that turns into a whole production of them putting on A Christmas Carol as a play, a stage show, if you will, and just everything that falls into that, adding a note of uncomfortability. One, Harriet is the female main character's name. She is suffering a little bit because her daughter is on an exchange trip and she has decided to stay in New York to celebrate Christmas, so she's not coming home to be with her mom. Also, this male main character is the solicitor or attorney of the woman who owns the theater. And she, just the day before everything that happened, she and this man had a one-night encounter after meeting in a bar while she was drunk on mulled wine. So there's like that added layer of a little bit of awkwardness, but a little bit of romance and a lot of community, a lot of growth, a lot of moving past difficult circumstances. And I really enjoyed it. I ended up liking it so much more than I thought I was going to in like the first quarter, 30% of this book. So this was a win for me. And I'm not surprised because Jenny Bayless. I've had this book for like at least 5 years, okay? And I did attempt to read it many Christmases ago and I just couldn't finish it before the Christmas season was over. So I think I had set it down and said I would come back to it. It has been many years, 4 or 5. And I said, this is going to be the year that I read this book. I don't know how far I got. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know if I got as far this season as I did the first time I attempted to read it, but I could not get into it. And life is too short for books that you're not enjoying, which is what I always say. So I just had to set it down. What I'm struggling with is, do I want to keep it for another year, or do I just trust my gut and say like, this is just not the book for me? And that's fine, because there are so many books that I have to read and so many books out there that could be for me. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or walk away from it entirely. But yeah, I just couldn't. It was not for me. And finally, for books I've finished for now, is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I said I was going to read this Christmas Eve in one sitting. I did not. I fell asleep last night, but I did get a little over halfway through it and then I finished it this morning. I don't know why I'm always so surprised with the classics or when I read like an original piece of art, which it's giving me like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? It's like everybody knows that story. But when you read the like original, it's like, oh, something shifts. It's so much better than I thought it would be. It's so much more magical than I thought it would be. Also, did not expect this to be so dryly funny. There was a lot of like sarcasm and humor and I enjoyed it so much. So I would highly recommend anytime you can get your hands on this, Christmas or not, it was so good. So for my currently reading, I am actually reading Cowboy, It's Cold Outside by Maisie Yates. This is part of like a much larger series, much larger. But I picked this up in Sincerely Yours with my mom like maybe a month ago, maybe less than a month ago. I don't really know. But we picked it up. I am roughly halfway through it. I'm enjoying it. However, like I said, this is part of a much larger series, this is part of the Four Corners Ranch. And if you can see, this is that series. So there's like a lot of books. And I don't think you have to have read those books to read this, but I think there's a lot that you could benefit from if you have read those books. So I am enjoying it. I think it's going to be a good time. I think I'm going to end up liking it and keeping it. However, it might have been better to have already had like a foothold in this world community series at large. But like I said, I'm enjoying it. I think it's going to be a good time. And then I had picked up The Dead of Winter while I was in England. And this is very much like a Christmas time. It says The Demons, Witches, and Ghosts of Christmas. And a BBC Radio 4 book of the week. I don't know. That means nothing to me. So this book just sort of highlights some lesser known traditions, stories, folktales, I guess, around Christmas. And I am very much intrigued by this and I would like to read it this year. Again, I think I can finish 2.5 books in like 4 days. I really do. It does sound crazy when you say it out loud though. This is quite small, but I think I can just pick this up here and there and I don't necessarily have to sit and read it in one sitting. I can pick up other things between and I think it'll just be fun and good for the winter time altogether. So that's all for now. I will leave it here and I should be back for at least one more update, hopefully 2 or 3 as I finish things. I'll be better about catching up. Bye. Hi, I think my last check-in was Christmas Day or like the day after Christmas. I really don't remember. It's been, it's like the holidays, like time isn't real. But I just wanted to say that I am so delulu. My intention was to, I think, finish 3 books. Is that what I said? I don't 100% remember. But I think I thought that over the weekend I could finish 2.5 or 3 books, something like that. Girl, bye. Okay, I finished Cowboy, It's Cold Outside finally by Maisie Yates. This is a book in a wider series, and I think I showed that before. This is about a woman who is owed something by a man, and like, that makes it sound weird. Hold on. There's an arrangement, okay? And it's like they both feel they owe each other something. It's kind of the vibe. And she wants to open an axe throwing bar on his land. Her business, his land, whatever. They have somewhat of a history, as in like they know each other kind of, but not super deeply. There's a little bit of forced proximity because they're working together closely a lot. And I just think that I would have been a little more invested had I read the other books. It was fun. There were parts that were annoying. The third act breakup was not that bad. I feel like that's not a spoiler. If you read romance, 99.9% of the time there's going to be a third act breakup or a third act conflict, let's call it. And I just felt like this wasn't that bad. However, I didn't have an investment in the community or the characters that I would have had if I had read the other books in the series first. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 10 books before this one. What was I don't know, but this was advertised at Christmas time. I didn't know it was part of a wider series until I got home. And will I read the rest of the series? Who has the time? I would like to, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. I do think they're all being re-released with these like very cute covers. This is so cute to me. Anyway, I think I gave this like 3.25 stars. I don't know what to do with it because I feel like I liked it okay. It wasn't terrible, but also I don't have that history with the series or the characters or like there's like a big family dynamic. I just don't know if it's worth it to jump into another series or if this is one where I should just like walk away because I have so much other stuff to read. So the jury is out on this one. I do think I mentioned I wanted to read Krampus. I have not even started it. Haven't even started it. Said I want to read it. And it's hefty. I mean, still like super wide margins. There are pictures. I think it'll go fast like Slewfoot. But I have not even started this. It is the 29th of December. I don't really care about the seasonality of it. I'm going to read it this year. I've already started taking down like my Christmas stuff. The ornaments are boxed. The Christmas tree that I had over there, the little baby one, put away. I am slowly clawing back my personal space from Christmas. So, Happy New Year, I guess. I really hope that I can come to you before the end of this year. Good Lord, 2025 is almost over. I'm hoping that both of these can be ticked off the physical TBR by the end of this year. That's all for now. Bye. Hey y'all, and Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, so I'm going to show you the last of the books that I was able to finish in 2025 with a couple of numbers attached. And needless to say, things did not go as planned. I'm just going to start from the jump. I did not finish Krampus, and I'm trying to not be so hard on myself for not finishing that. I think if I finish it this weekend, today's Thursday, if I can finish it before the start of the next week, I'll be really pleased with that. And if I don't, I freaking don't. I did end up picking up another library book, and then I finished Dead of Winter by Sarah Clegg. It took me a little while to get into this. The introduction, I was intrigued. The first 2 chapters, I was like, what did I pick up? And then things shifted. You will see these are tabs. I have some notes. So let me start off by saying this is a mix of history and then firsthand experiences of festivals and different traditions that are highlighted in this book. So she takes these certain topics and then actually in most cases, I think there are a couple where she was like, I will not go to this type of thing. But in most cases, she is actually there participating in the event or what the event has become over time, like the Krampus run, for example. And this seemed to be more pagan themes that were maybe absorbed by Christmas tradition in more recent times. So you can see certain things like in the witches section, people would leave out food for them. So I'm like, that's kind of like leaving out food for Santa. Just there are things like that you will pick up on throughout the stories, and you can kind of see how all of these different things came together to create what we have now. But then there's still so many traditions and, like I said, festivals, Krampus runs, things like that are still alive and well, especially throughout Europe. There are Krampus runs in the US, which very much excites me. I would like to attend one here. I would like to attend one in Europe one day. I think that sounds so fun. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. So I just think it would be really fun to go and be part of. I think we could have benefited from more photos, and also maybe like a little section in the middle of color photos. That is a Krampus from the Krampus run. Where things really picked up for me were the Mary Lewis. I'm just going to take my notes out, and I really want to get through all of my notes. Mary Lewis were very interesting to me. These are like a snapping head monster, a snapping skull type monster. That is how they would scare people at these festivals and events. Here is a picture of one. So this is where things started really coming together for me. I think in England, they're more horse heads and there are strings inside of the costume. It's obviously somebody wearing a costume, and the head is a horse skull, but now there's like a lot of replicas. So they're not always using real animals. Anyway, so a way that they will scare people is like come up behind them and snap the heads. However, in Europe, on the greater continent, a lot of these Mary Lewis use horned animals. And all I could think of was the Bleakin from Bob's Burgers. If you guys have seen Bob's Burgers, you know what I'm talking about. And then I get the song stuck in my head. It's a whole thing. They make up a song, like it's really good. I love it. And that's all I could think of. So I really loved the Mary Lewis. That's where things started coming together for me. That's where my interest really peaked. And I think at my last check-in, I had started this and I was kind of like, when I hit the Mary Lewis, I just absorbed the rest of the book. It's a very small book. And so then we moved into the Krampus chapter. So she talked about a Krampus run. That is like a new bucket list item for me. And they go around actually like switching the kids and adults, I think, with these bundles of sticks. Also the Belschnickel, when they were talking about the Belschnickels, one that has popped up in Krampus already that I'm reading by Brom, but also I kept thinking of Dwight from The Office. So this book really brought out a lot of references to other things that I didn't realize all sort of came together. From the Krampus part of it, it really brought to light the like be good aspect of Santa Claus. And then I think I already mentioned with the witches, the Striga were like these traveling night witches, and it was said that women could leave their beds at night in spirit only, so their body would stay in bed with their husband, and then their spirit would travel the night with the Striga and get into shenanigans. These are also the women that food would be left out for, which again feels very Santa Claus, leaving out cookies. So that kind of slotted in there. I thought that was very interesting. Also, there's mention of Yule Cat in that chapter, and I need to do more research on Yule Cats because that sounds freaking awesome. The last physical TBR book I finished in 2025 was Duke by Jessica Peterson. This is a pre-order. I pre-ordered it from Fred and June's, and I have never done that before, but she actually physically goes into Fred and June's and signs the books there. So that's why I wanted to pre-order a copy. Plus it comes with some extras. So I'm just going to show you mini haul style. First of all, here's the lovely cover for Duke. Duke is brother 4. He is a twin, so he and Ryder are brothers 4 and 5, and Ryder is coming out, I believe, in April. I'm very excited for that. But here's the sticker page that came. They also included their bookmark for Fred and June's books. There's the address. If you are nearby, you should go visit them. I wish I were closer. I would be going. And then, like I said, Jessica signs all of these books. I think she just has like the prettiest signature too. I wish I could write that pretty. One thing I like about the Bloom published books, the originals don't have this, are these sprayed edges. And the sprayed edges usually have something to do with this specific couple. So here we have a dartboard, but we also have like snowflakes because they get snowed in. This is an accidental pregnancy trope romance. If that is not your bag, I would say, you know. Like, just don't even get into it. I thought it was fun. I really liked it. There was already chemistry. They already really liked each other. And then, you know, like, it's a romance book. Stuff happens. I enjoyed it. I do think the nature sometimes of books like this, where there is an ongoing conflict or angst or yearning or, just something unresolved, an unexpected pregnancy, it can sometimes feel that you go through so much of that angst or longing that the ending can feel rushed. I did see a couple of reviews that said the ending felt very rushed, but again, this is a contemporary romance book. You're here for the angst, you're here for the yearning, and then that payoff at the end of like a happy ever after, which is what most of these contemporary rom-coms have. However, I don't know what people are expecting when you come into a book like this. Do you want like the next 5 years and every time they fight over putting cutlery in the wrong drawer or like a sock left right next to the laundry basket? I don't really get that sort of criticism. I enjoyed it. I did feel like the ending, things were resolved like quite quickly. Once they were resolved, they were like resolved. But there's 2 epilogues in this book. I thought that was great. And I am obsessed with how Jessica Peterson sets us up for the next book. Every time in these books, she is setting us up for the next one. It's not a cliffhanger, but it is always something very juicy and very enticing, but not anxiety inducing, not like so difficult to wait until the next one comes out. I just really enjoy that about her writing. I like how she has woven all of these brothers' stories in together. There's a lot of things that are happening along the same timeline. There's a lot of moving parts all of the time, and I like seeing that from different angles and different perspectives in all the different books. So I'm really excited for Ryder. She did just announce that there is going to be another book. I believe it's going to stay in this series because it is a tangential kind of character. It's a friend. I'm pretty sure we met him in this book. It's Ryder, Duke's twin brother's friend. I believe that is the situation. And so she did announce that. There's no cover reveal for it yet. Stuff is happening, so I need to check back on that and see if there's any news, but you better believe I will be right there when it comes out. I just enjoy these books so much. So that is it, my final monthly check-in. I read 12 physical TBR books and I DNF'd 2. I believe those numbers are correct. I don't know how many library books I picked up in between there or books that just weren't part of my physical TBR. That's not any of my business. As far as 2026 goals go, I haven't really set any yet. Again, I'm just enjoying this time at home, enjoying my family, I bought a quad last weekend out of nowhere. I don't know who I am. Don't ask me. I don't know. I might have to start a second channel for shenanigans, but I'm just trying to soak in what is actual life right now and not get too caught up in the nitty-gritty of really this TBR of my own making. I hope that 2025 was good to you, and if it wasn't, that 2026 holds something fresh and fun to look forward to. I'm certainly not a new year, new me person, but there is something to be said for turning over a new year and all of the potential that it holds. I hope you have the most beautiful New Year weekend. I hope you have a lot of books to read. I hope the weather is nice wherever you are, and I look forward to all the things that 2026 has in store for all of us. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.